The Strait of Hormuz has never been completely shut, not even at the height of the Iran-Iraq war in the 1980s. Yet as many African economies rely on the narrow waterway for their energy and petrochemical needs, the recent Iran-Israel conflict reignited regional concern. Even slight instability in this strategic corridor can drive up energy prices and disrupt the supply of critical goods, from fertilizers to construction inputs and mining fuel.
Any disruption in international waterways affects the economies of developing nations. African countries unfortunately face that a lot, whether through continental conflicts or regional ones. Moreover, their security is greatly impacted. Food supply chains are interrupted, which violent groups in Africa can exploit to further instability.
Although only 13% of Africa's total imports pass directly through Hormuz, experts say the ripple effects of a crisis there could significantly slow the continent's economic recovery. Security threats in the region raise insurance premiums, causing shipping delays and add to maritime congestion. Most of Africa's imports originate from East and Southeast Asia, meaning any disruption in Hormuz increases transport costs and widens budget deficits, especially in fragile economies.
African economies are fragile economies, and this means that external influences reflect clearly on it. Oil prices could have reached $130 a barrel and could have surpassed that if the war continued. More than 30 African countries rely mostly on Hormuz for their energy supply. That can put African economies in a downward spiral. The only exception would be oil exporting countries like Algeria and Nigeria.
In response to frequent disruptions in both the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz, oil-rich Gulf states like the UAE and Saudi Arabia are building alternative export routes. Yet experts estimate that these pipelines can only reroute about 5 million barrels a day, far below the 21 million typically shipped through Hormuz. For Africa, this underscores the urgency of securing strategic reserves and improving supply chain resilience. Africa's fiscal and monetary policies may be able to absorb shocks on the short term, but on the medium to long term, the continent's economies may face mounting pressure. Experts say this is the time to double down on diversifying sources of energy, expanding the capacity for refining, and boost intra-African trade so that geopolitical flashpoints like Hormuz don't derail the continent's development. Adel Mahroui, CGTN, Cairo.